At every end there is a new beginning. We are told in the book of Revelation 5, 1 to 5, that the Christ, the Lamb, would come in to open the seventh seal and explain the information therein. Notice that only one person was in a position to open the Holy Seal. Only one person can open the seal at a time. You notice that in recent time His Majesty came in and opened the seal to close closing the old timeline. Today you see the Son, in to open the seal to set up the new semi-positive timeline. A work in progress since 2001. In spite man's effort to prevent such, since everyone jealous and covetous and bad-minded, they want to be the one to do so. However, there's only one first birth, and by his works you shall know him. I work over the last 20 years, 19 going 20, explain our position. And everyone who read our work, are reading our work, should be aware of that reality by now. Especially those in high authority, the government, Prime Minister. You should be aware of my work more than anybody else, since you have been there for a very long time. And I have directly sent things to you to sort out our position, so I can get to move ahead with His Majesty work. But you seem like you want to stand in the way of divine progress. Who are you listening to? Trump? From the wild? Or I, the universal lawgiver, the one defining the new future for all humanity? Wildness can't help around here at this time. Everyone need to get wise up, especially black people. Black people will be the one to benefit the most from our work, for they are the one that have been down and under, docile, not going anywhere, following behind their masters since slavery. This is about to change. But as you can see, even some black people do not want it to change, because they are okay. But most of us are not. Most of us are not okay. Therefore, changes must be made. New people must be put in place to lead the new future. We don't want to see the same old political infighting, JLP and PNP. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you'll get the same result. If you keep talking about Jesus, without any result for so many years, after 2,000 years, you are telling us about Jesus. Yet, black people still in mental slavery, just come out of physical slavery and now in mental slavery. Yet Jesus came to do pure good things, according to King James' opinion of things. However, this is not the time to talk about Jesus. This is time to know the law of the Almighty as it flows from the Universal Scientific Associate Ministry. setting a new pathway for a better future for all. And this is what I expect everyone to talk about, especially the preachers, about the pollution of the environment and the incoming changes and what people need to do to reduce the impact of these changes on the population and reduce the amount of debt that will come about at any one time. So they don't have the whole population, they don't get the devastation of the whole population. And the Prime Minister have been given instructions as how to build up the new towns. Those old towns, we need to refurbish them so that we can have our people living all over. We don't want to have them at one location that a lot of people did one time and devastation take place. We want to have our people live all strategically in small towns all across Jamaica. And these are some of the instructions that was given to the government from 2001. But they are there loafing and loafing and looking something to thief and lie about. Since document was moved from my computer from 2000, October. And the head of the government then claimed that when he retired, he was going to write poems. It's like poems, over 150 poems on iComputer with other works in relation to what I'm doing. Over 3 books on the computer writing at the same time. That is what he planned on doing. Those are the poems he planned on publishing, since they thought they would have killed I by now. Because they have tried so many times and failed. And will always fail. You can't touch the Lord anointed. You can't touch a button. Since I've watched a lot of you fall down around I over recent times. And many more will have to go if you don't go humble yourself around here. And have respect to the law of the Almighty and the carrier of the law, Rastafari. Rastafari, the first people, children of the first man and woman, bearer of the Ark of the Covenant. The law flow out of Ethiopia, to Jamaica, home of Rastafari, the first people, the center. Today, you see the law coming out of the semi-positive center, Jamaica, laying the foundation for a better future for all humanity. And positive timeline at the headline, the first 2,000 years of leadership came out of Africa. Then the second 2,000 years came out of Asia. And we see the final 2,000 years coming out of the Wild West, Europe, the Roman Empire, up to now. And we see it ending now. They're hanging on to wildness, just the same. So they're telling you that they're going to have Star Wars and more space war, according to them. But this is not the time. This is not the time to have space war. Since the climate change, the universal adjustment will mean that most of the things in the sky will fall down. And it will fall on a lot of you and burn you up. If you don't go humble yourself around here and have respect to law and order. Since most of you love anarchy. War is a polluting institution. War is a money-making institution to the colonizers. They are the one who made all those bombs and guns and sell it to others who remove the oil from under the ground and pollute the place and use the money to buy weapons to destroy other nations that they hate because of mostly because of religious reason. The greatest hate is religious hate. Notice some people are willing to kill you for their gods. Since they fight for God. Their God cannot fight for himself. Him, according to them, he's a him. But God is both male and female. Elohim, Selassie. Selassie is not a singular word, but mean the Holy Trinity. Yet they continue to fight him over there. They continue to fighting over their little God. Put people in prison, chop off their heads and all that. God they're fighting about. Hell, you're living in hell. That is why you behave like that. Ignorance dominate the human mentality, result in violence. Look at the behavior around us, around the world today, at the end of the whole ugly timeline. All over the Middle East. Everyone flinging bombs, throwing bombs like slingshot that you used to go to bird bush and shoot after each other with bird with catapults and catch bird. That's the way they are behaving to one another. Why? And this is not new. They have been behaving like that for the last 6,000 years. Remember His Majesty came in and the people in Israel, when he was asked what is he going to do about them, he said, well, every time they return, that is the way they behave. Vile and ugly to one another. And that is true every time they return on this timeline, at this time cycling back to here. That is how they behave. So there's nothing that His Majesty could do about that and allow time to have its course, since he knows that changes will come about in due time. That is, and therefore he cannot break his own law, since he understands, as the first man, he understands this more than everyone else. Only the woman, know it more than the man, since the woman was before the man. Yes, the female is wiser than the male. They are double dimension, whereas the male are single. That's why when the male in domination, we have all these war and violence and crime. That's the behavior of the male, macho, and wild. Everything, they get angry. But the women are more subtle. And when they are in domination, the world progress more than the men. And in the incoming timeline, we'll see more women getting into operations. So this is a semi-positive timeline. I mean that it's not just man alone, the men alone dominate, but the women will come into their own. New world order. From day one, everyone have been told about the new world order. If you go on the YouTube site, New World Order Barry White, you'll say I've been talking about that since the beginning of the changes. However, I'm being ignored, despised. However, I'm in hell. That is expected. Human being living in ignorance, selfish, hateful, covetous, ready to keep down each other. Especially the African people, black people. They are busy holding down themselves to please the colonizers. They come here in Jamaica with nothing and can go to the bank and get loan and get ahead. Look how long I have been looking alone. I've gone all over the place, looking alone to start up a work, an institution, to publish material and do some other works in relation to the Almighty law. Yet, I'm being ignored. No one, however, say yes, you can get some alone. Yet the tax people writing, I say I owe money. Oh, I owe tax and I have never collected a cent from all I 20 years of work. The whole world get rich and talking about new technology and this, like they are the one that do all the work. For example, the ganja. Everyone running here now to jump down on the ganja and take it away from Rasta. Yet, we were the one here fighting to have the plant legalized. Many of the Rastas before have gone to jail, pay a lot of money, have prison record over the plant. The only reason why I don't have a prison record over the plant is because they have to stay far from I. Yet now they are running here from all over to take over the headship and control it. Since there are certain people who, when there is money, they must head it and control it. But we don't want them around us now. Because the plant resonates with Rastafari. The law, covenant, resonates with Rastafari. Reggae music, part of the whole equation. So I don't want to see some people around here behaving like they own the plant and they want to take it over from Rasta. Rasta must get a percentage of the sale of that plant. And that money must go straight to the Universal Scientific Association. Associates. And distribute to the Rastafari community, those in wants. Since we are the ones that keep the plant alive. Where were they when I went to the commissioner office by Hope Road, that's Spliffenheim out, and drive in to hand in scientific information on the plant for its freedom and should be fully freed by now? Where were they? Everyone jumping down like they are the one who help. Rare. I scientific work help to free the plant more than everything else. Yet, we don't hear anybody talk about that. But everyone running to set up ganja, this and ganja, that all over Jamaica. What about the Rastafari community? I hope those who are in charge know that they have to benefit first. And also, this is a new day. The enemies will not allow to come here and just grab everything and laugh after us, as per usual. Run us off our land all over. All these crown lands were land occupied by Rastafari, the First Nation. The Father leave us on it for thousands of years. So most of these lands were taken away from the Rastafari community. And still being taken away by criminal politicians and their slave masters who continue to oppress our people since slavery. But all this must come to an end. And the people can ensure that this come to an end at the next election by ensuring that the Marcus Garvey political party come into operation under I divine guidance. So it's up to you. And this will be better off for everybody. If I would not have to come on the road and run out a lot of these people out of Jamaica that are here making trouble. Single-handedly. So we want to see that organized. We don't want to call it a party, because we're not into the party thing around here. So that organization up and ready to address all our social, political, and spiritual problems in Jamaica. For we'll also move from religiosity to spirituality. These are two opposite things. As we move away from people around here selling us God, and salvation become free, since every man will be in their own position to live in the consciousness of the Almighty by knowing the law and walk in that law within the consciousness of themselves without anybody have to hold up stick over you and tell you about hell, going to hell, and God is going to punish you and this and that and that. Foolishness, illusion, confusion, hate, and robbery. Most of these religious institutions are scammers, scamming away your little widow's mite, and fooling you up that they can send you to heaven. The Almighty is not in heaven. The Almighty is in everything. The Almighty is in man. The physical is the temple of the Spirit. Therefore, you do not have to pray outside yourself, or shout, or mourn, or groan for the Almighty to hear you. The Almighty is watching over you always, in bad times and good times, and well aware of everything, since He is the one who allows things to work the way they work, whether good or bad. This is a new day. To Selassie we will pray. There's no reason to pray. He knows all your deeds and wills and will supply your needs. All you have to do is obey. Walk in the consciousness of the law of the Almighty. Live it, eat it, sing it. That is the way of the light. Now look back, never you look back. Look ahead and the light you will see. Forward ever, backward never. Selassie.